All right, it's April the 30th. Aaron and I got home. I found this letter in the mail. My allergies are acting up something fierce, so I'm going to try to make it through this. It's two very long pages. It's from Herbert N. Price Jr. His Florida Department of Corrections DC number is V as in Victor 17064, and I'm assuming he got my address from Sean. He's 5'3", 130 pounds, black man. He was charged and convicted with a sexual battery. The victim was 12 years old or older, and supposedly the victim was physically incapacitated at the time of the attack. I looked up the specific definition of what sexual battery means. It means penetration orally, anally, or vaginally. So this is a pretty serious charge. He was sentenced to 11 years, 6 months in prison. His current release date is 7/13/16, so he's going to be getting out in a few months. And looks like he's learned about my address from Sean. So that's a very serious charge. And I don't know what I'm getting into as far as reading this letter. But let's read it and see what he's got to say. It's dated April the 22nd, so it took 8 days to get to me. Dear Mr. Davis, I greet you in the name of the Most High, who is blessed and only potentate, the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. I'm writing to you at the request of Mr. Sean Stuller, who is incarcerated at the Blackwater River Correctional Facility in Milton, Florida. You see, I am also incarcerated at Blackwater, and I met Sean in the law library. Let me also just make a quick comment. His writing is immaculate. Some of these prisoners, I'm just shocked at how...
Is this Herbert?
Yeah, how'd you know?
Because it's not our home address.
Well, still. But, I'm just saying their handwriting is immaculate. I've never seen people that write so neat. I guess, just very impressive. But anyway, where am I at? I met Sean in the law library. I am due to be released on June 23rd, 2016. Well, he says June 23rd, but the release date on the prison website says 7/13. So he says June 23rd, but it says July 13th, so I don't know who to believe. Anyway, and at this point I'm looking to make a fresh start. The place is immaterial. I am a certified law clerk, and by the grace of God I was able to give back 15 years. That's why I'll be going home soon. I'll call my testimony running from the call of God. I was called to the ministry at a young age, but I never thought that I was good enough or holy enough to serve God in that capacity, and besides, I like to party too much. My story is similar to Jonah's in that God assigned him a specific task in a specific place with a specific route or path to get there. But Jonah chose to ignore God and do things his way, and as the story goes, he wound up in the belly of the fish. Finally, when Jonah was released from his place of incarceration, he did what God commanded. I joined my first church in the Philippian Baptist Church in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, when I was 8 years old. I became an usher, sang in the choir, became a Cub Scout, became a Boy Scout, and served as Master of Ceremonies at its cornerstone laying at the age of 18. I was very active until I went to college to major in partying 101. I graduated with a BA in psychology and became second lieutenant in the U.S. Army. After leaving the service, I sold Cadillacs for a while and eventually landed my dream job driving for Trailways, which eventually merged with Greyhound. My story is like Jonah's in that when God called me to the ministry, I failed to heed his call. But for me, instead of winding up in the belly of a fish, I wound up in the belly of a fish called the Florida Department of Corrections. I served 8.5 years, followed by 2.5 years probation. I was originally sentenced to plus 25 years. Maybe he means 0 to 25 years. I was released in 2011 and did 2.5 years probation until a technical violation landed me in prison for another 36 months. All for a crime I didn't commit and that I was never properly charged with. The lawyer who represented me at trial and on appeal has been suspended from the practice of law. I spent most of my 8.5 years in the law library studying law. God gave me a gift, and I asked for His help in helping others with their cases. I have helped several people get their cases overturned. I eventually completed the Department of Corrections Law Clerk program and became a certified law clerk. In September of 2009, I became an ordained minister. I've told Sean if he needs help with his case, I will help him even after I am released, and I would like to start a ministry helping others with their cases. I start the next phase of my life. My response to the greatest commission is, "Here I am, Lord, send me." May God bless you and keep you, and I hope to hear from you soon. Sincerely, Herbert N. Price, Jr., Blackwater River Correctional Facility. So you guys will use your own discernment, make your own judgments, and that's what Herbert had to say in his letter.